Okay, so just joining us down here in the pits, come down to the Shepherd pits where we're going to have a bit of a chat with Patrick Schaffer, the owner of Shepherd. Hi Patrick, how's it going?
So far it's okay. The track is really difficult. It's really hard to find a good setup here, but we are improving it step by step, and yeah, we are not there where we want to be, but we are getting closer.
Okay, so I mean, this week you're running the it's the Velox V10 WC, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. It's our latest version, and we also brought some prototype parts for this race, which we are testing here, and they are working quite well. And yeah, for sure, for the World Championship, for example, it should be available for the other drivers as well.
Okay, anything you can tell us about that are on the car at the moment, or any of the new bits you can tell us about?
Yeah, I'll show you the new parts. We have a new rear arm mount. The rear position is a little bit wider, so the arm in general is a little bit shorter, which changed the roll center. And we feel that we have a little bit more corner speed in the tight corners with it. So yeah, we think we're going in the right direction. That's why we also put it into production right now, and soon it will be available.
Okay, so you've left the arm length the same. You've just widened or moved the pivot points outwards slightly and brought the track back in slightly. So you've got the same track width, but just a slightly wider roll center. Yeah,
the arms are a little bit shorter because when we move the pivots more to the outside, of course we have to shorten the arm a little bit. Otherwise, it would be too wide. But like now, as I said, it's a prototype part. And we also designed a new arm that because now we just cut the arm to make it fit. We already arranged the production, and yeah, I think in 4 to 6 weeks we should also have the new arm available.
Okay, so good. So that's something obviously you get testing of a lot of prototype parts at these kind of events. So that all filters through to the drivers eventually afterwards. What about any other new parts? Is there anything else new on there?
No, so far we are running a standard car, of course fully optioned, like with a body post stiffener here in the rear, and lightweight parts, aluminium wheel axle, titanium pivot ball, stuff like that, yeah, to lower the weight of the drivetrain, to get more RPMs, but everything is already available.
Okay, it's obviously a fairly big track, you mentioned, compared to a lot of tracks that you normally run 10th IC on. Is that something that you've had to make any changes to accommodate for?
Yeah, as I said, the setup is really difficult to find because, as you said, it's a really fast layout. I think nearly in every part of the track you shift into second gear, so you need to have a car that's very stable under high speed. And for that, we adapted the setup a little bit. It's of course a little bit different compared to other tracks with maybe a tighter layout. But so far, I think we are on a good way.
Okay, and I suppose one of the problems is if you set a car up to be stable at high speed, then you run the risk of losing steering at low speed?
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. You have to find a good balance between high-speed steering and low-speed steering, because if you have too much in the low speed and maybe in the high speed you lose the rear, and that's very dangerous here because if you hit the curb and you crash into the wall, of course the race is finished. So that's really tricky to find a good balance between enough high-speed steering, but still making the car turn in the low-speed corners.
What about tyre wear as well? Because there looks like a lot of fast left-hand corners. So is tyre wear a bit of a concern for you?
I think for the 20-minute lower mains, it should be okay. We should be able to make the lower mains with only one set of tires. Of course, the car gets a little bit tweaked. We have more tire wear on the outside tire, but it's not that huge, so we should be fine with that.
Okay, so maybe a stop for the 45-minute main then?
Yeah, for the 45 minutes, I'm pretty sure you have to change minimum the outside tire. Maybe some guys will also change all 4 tires, but yeah. We are still not sure what to do if we make the main, but yeah, we have 2 days left, so we'll find it out.
Okay, what about runtime as well? Like we said, it's a big track, so clearly everybody managing the 4 minutes okay in qualifying, but when it starts getting to finals, do you think you're going to start seeing people run off? Because it's quite a long lap as well, it's going to narrow, I guess, you're going to probably have 1 or 2 laps that you can stop on?
It will be difficult to make 5 minutes. I think there are some guys that can do it, but not many. And 4 minutes is safe. I think at the moment we have a runtime of about 4:30, maybe 4:40. But to make a safe 5-minute stints in the main final, I think is too dangerous because, of course, if you run out of fuel, race is finished.
Yeah, okay, so you're going to have, you will be limited to really 1 or 2 laps, so you don't think anybody's going to try and get 1 stop less in the final?
As I said, I think there are some guys that can do the 5 minutes, but I'm not sure if they want to risk it in the lower mains, because when the tire gets smaller, the fuel consumption will go up a little bit, and with the gun, it's also not sure that the fuel tank is completely full, so it will be a close call.
Yeah, okay, of course, what Patrick means there is as the tyre diameter gets smaller, the rollout of the car goes down, so the distance that the car travels for 1 revolution of the tyre reduces. So that's what's altering the gearing of the car slightly throughout the duration of the run. So, well, thanks for your time anyway, Patrick. That's much appreciated. And, well, good luck for the rest of the weekend.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
So, hi, Jurs. How are you?
Hi. Fine, thank you.
Good. And week going well for you so far?
Not really. We have been struggling with the setup a bit. Setup of the car, setup of the engine. I mean, the track is not the same as what I've been used to it. Like normally we had pretty good pace at other races at ENS. You throw the car on the track and it works. And the traction here is quite low, and it's some wind, so it's a bit dusty. And it's a fast track, so you need a completely different setup. It's like you need corner speed, you need power, of course, you need engine. And it's so far we have been struggling quite a lot. Also, just some silly things happens that I lose some time with that. But I think now we like all the guys in the team. Some guys are fast, some guys are slow. So I just try to get all the bits together and try again and qualify.
Okay, I mean, you're running the IF15. It's the first year that you've had the production car, isn't it? You've been running the prototype before?
Yes, the prototype already came 2 years ago in Gubbio at the Worlds, but it was really like made very quickly with all different parts from different brands. But yeah, this car we have now since the end of last year. It's like it's pretty much the same car as we had the end of last year. So yeah, I've been running this car through the whole season now, and I mean, what I say, it has been good every single race, and here I just struggle with find the setup, because sometimes it works quite well, and then you don't touch it, and then the track changes a little bit, and the car doesn't feel the same. So we have to understand which way we have to go. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, have you struggled? It was really hot here earlier in the week, wasn't it? It was sort of 40 odd degrees, and it's now down in the sort of high 20s. So have you noticed the difference in the change of track temperature?
Not really, because actually only on Monday it was warm, but Monday the track was very dusty, because they didn't run the track for quite a while, and so Monday was kind of a waste of time, because we just cleaned up the track, and Tuesday already got cooler, so I don't think it's. I think the track condition stays quite the same. It's just the wind. Sometimes there's wind, and sometimes it's no wind, and yeah, you can feel the car is just blown away because of the high speed corner, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've noticed that as well. Sometimes you can see off the end of the main straight, when the flags have picked up at the other end of the straight, you can suddenly see the cars become loose. Do you feel a difference in the wind direction?
No, it's just like, well, normally I think the wind comes from that side. I don't know if it's north, east side. I think it's north, but it's anyway. It can happen just suddenly, and maybe it's also a bit of dust that comes. But what I say, the track is so super slippery. So it's you go a bit offline, you pick up dust, and the next corner you spin out. So. Yeah, what I say, and also the tire wear, it's like the left and the right. The right side, because of the fast corners to the left, the right side wears out a lot more. Okay. So at one point you get a car that is it's not even anymore.
Okay.
So especially in finals, this is going to be the key: who has the best balance with the tire wear being so much, going to the to one side. So that's going to be interesting.
Okay, so I mean, are you going to take that into account in qualifying? Are you going to try and compensate for it so that when it comes to finals, you've got a bit more of a balanced car, and maybe not quite so quick for qualifying, but a bit more, a bit of an easier car to drive for the finals?
Yeah, I mean, we came on Monday, so we had 3 full days of free practice, and I did actually much testing with smaller tire, and also don't swap the tire from run to run, but really keep the tire the same. So I really kind of try to simulate a semi-final, which is 20 minutes, and of course a final you have to change tire anyway. So at least I know how the car behaves in for example, a 20 minutes race. And what I said before, it's so difficult because the tire wear on one side is so much. So I made a kind of safe setup for that. But then I feel like now in the qualification I'm also losing a bit of speed. If I make the car too easy, too stable, it's not fast enough for qualify, but maybe it's good enough for final. Yeah. So I still finding the right, just the right compromise for qualify and final.
Okay, and I mean, what about, you mentioned it's quite a big track. What about fuel mileage? Are you worried about that at all? How much are you using really over a run?
It's yeah, what you say. It's a big track, so you will expect to have a lot of fuel mileage, but because of the low traction, you can't really push. Okay. And so for me, I'm pretty okay actually with the mileage. Of course, I'm not gonna say how good it is, but no, it's fair. It's nice, and I can see some guys they struggle a bit more to make the 5 minutes because they have maybe a bit more traction and they can push a bit harder. They have a little bit better engine. So it's also I focus more on on the long run because I know what I said, the fuel mileage is not bad. And but yeah, you will think it's a big track, so the mileage is very high, but because of the low traction, it's kind of average than on another track, so it's not a big deal.
Okay, any new parts on the car this week? I mean, we're obviously building up to the Worlds later on this year. Is there anything new coming for the car that you can tell us about, or is it fairly standard?
Actually, the car is the way we ran it already in the first race end of last year. It's more like finding the right setup, and but yeah, what I say, the chassis plate, it's still the same. We have the slide weight. You can change the weight balance of the car, which helps a lot. We have inserts in the arm. You can fix it with a carbon plate, a plastic plate, or no plate. So we have just many options to tune the car. But actually, this car is exactly the same that we have been running from the start. Of course, some bits they were just fine-tuned. Like we had a little bit problem with some gears, so we fixed this. But now it's actually, the quality is very nice. The car works really well. It's just find the right setup at the right track. Okay, fair enough. Well, thanks for your time, and good luck for the rest of the meeting. Hope it goes well for you. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so a bit of a chat there with Gilles. So I think we're going to go back to the track action now.
I was about to start talking and realised I got the wrong headphones on. Hey ho, right, those were the pit interviews. What time are we back, James?